Everyone, my name is Neil with Dorkaholics, where we believe there's a dork in everyone, and it's our job to bring that dork out into the world.
I love
Hi,
that.
Neil.
So my first question is for Greta. Your character Nora, she comes across as practical even in these challenging circumstances she finds herself in. How much of her character traits, like her practicality, do you believe is out of necessity, and how much of it is out of her genuine and authentic self?
I think it's both. Um, I think we were really setting out to capture what a situation like this would be like authentically for a woman like that, for a woman who is fully formed as an adult, is entirely steadfast and sure, and frankly unburdened by what she wants. And from that place, we get to look at this encounter, this chance encounter with her childhood sweetheart.
As Past Lives is an American film featuring a lot of Korean dialogue, what impact do you hope this has on future films?
Oh, wow, that's a big question. Well, first of all, even though it's nice to give a film like a cultural locality, I think our film and the story is basically universal because I think it's for everyone who has ever loved or longed or experienced heartache or maybe questioned their own destiny. For future films, I have no idea. I hope we just get to inspire the next generation, I guess.
For John, despite the natural and very understandable discomfort your character Arthur has about his wife meeting her childhood friend, how would you describe where he finds the strength or ability to support his wife Nora in this situation?
I think that there's a security in the relationship, you know. Um, they've been married now for some years, they've been together for even more. Uh, I think in a healthy marriage, or any relationship or partnership of any sort, you need to have that security. And thankfully, Celine has painted a picture with characters who are fully developed and, modern adults who have insecurities but are able to shove them aside and let their partner live and thrive. Um, we've been calling this an adult love story, and I think that's exactly what it is. And Arthur is an example of that.
And this question is for everyone. What parts of your characters do you feel are now part of your past lives that you'll continue to carry on as your respective real selves?
Speaking terribly in Korean, that will probably continue.
Your Korean's not that bad.
It's not good.
It's appropriately bad for the character.
So I'll keep that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think during this movie, it was so deeply personal for all of us. And the process really was so great, was so organically collaborative, and I mean, it was pretty dreamy. And I think for me, it kind of it restored my faith as a naturally more cynical person in what that process can do in terms of delivering a certain kind of product, and really fighting for a movie like this to have this space. I love romantic movies, but this movie feels like something that I've been craving for a while, and that just hasn't been around in this form. So I think it's like revitalize that wanting, that like insistence that we keep doing work like this.
Yeah, same here. I have nothing to add to that.
So, Greta, I know that you were able to talk with the director writer Celine very closely just because parts of this film is based on her life. I'm curious for John and Theo if they had a chance to speak with her to kind of influence their portrayals of this film.
Yeah, I mean, I had, before we started, once I was cast, I had Celine and her husband Justin over to my place, and we had a barbecue together, and we spent the
Thanks for
night.
inviting us.
Yeah, well, we were kind of far away, so we had a barbecue, and they weren't invited,
Sounds like fun.
and we got to share our stories and bond, and I got to observe Justin, who in some ways is Arthur, and yeah, that was very helpful.
For me, it was I've seen images of the real life of her real life childhood sweetheart, and although I've gotten an overall impression of her real life situation, I think we're still dealing with fictional characters. So for me, it was important to focus on the script and on the work at hand and whatever I can bring to her vision and discussing that. So even though I was informed by it, I wasn't influenced by it. And even though I was inspired by it, um, I still made my own decisions and let her guide me.
For Teo and Greta, I know because your characters have childhood selves, were you able to form any connection with your childhood selves or just to influence each other's portrayals for the film?
Yeah, absolutely. That was like fully integral to our work. Sunga, actually, the end of the movie, the moment of the crying, I matched it to Sunga's actual crying. We were shooting out of order, so having a sense of how she would do that because it's spoken about with Arthur as well. That her crying was such a big part of her previous life, this lost identity. So I think there's a lot of deliberate kind of strategy in terms of matching that. And we were so lucky to have those two do the lion's share of the work of setting up our chemistry.
Totally.
The two of those kids, I just like had such an outsized and mature connection.
Right.
They're such better actors than us.
Yeah.
We're so great. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, everyone. Looking forward to sharing this film with the rest of the world. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you so much.